The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
What is up, everybody? Another Friday night, another House of Stein Hot 10. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Thank you for hanging out. We got a very interesting show tonight. A show without Ben Stein. Ben Stein has been dealing with some other stuff outside of comics lately, so he was going to say he was going to try to make it on, but if anything, he'd be really late. So we are guiding the ship tonight, as they say. Shout out to our boy Red Hood, who's also taking the night off. Yee might jump in with us. He was over running, helping run Nearing Nirvana tonight because Lucy lost her internet due to hurricane. Are you dealing with
really
already stuff out there? Yeah,
already? Because Spectrum is Sorry, let me turn this freaking thing off. Spectrum is my cable, and they're sending out text messages saying that this is the first time I've ever seen this. I've been with Spectrum like 10 years. There's going to be service outages, both internet and cable, due to severe weather conditions over the weekend.
Yeah, dude. Crazy stuff. So we'll see. It's storming out by me right now. It's starting to storm, so we'll see how that plays out here. But, ooh, boy,
you might get it hard. You might actually get the rain harder than us, because when those Mexico hurricanes hit, like once they get to Baja, they just kind of make it right, and they go towards your way, Colorado, Utah, that four corner. I could tell you what is cool though. The wedge in Newport Beach is like 25 feet. And it's all shore pound. So basically, you paddle. You don't even really paddle out. You just take your bodyboard. Or if you're a body surfer, you go out maybe like 20 yards, 25, 30 yards. It's about just above waist high. And the waves are just wall 20 to 25 feet.
Did you see that guy
incredible
that recently broke like some type of record on some crazy huge wave that he surfed? I think it was in the last couple of
Kelly
weeks.
Slater on the U.S. Open?
I don't know. It was recent. I remember showing it on the podcast. If you guys don't know what the podcast is, it's my podcast I do with my best friend Keith every Thursday night. You can catch that at podcast.com youtube.com/podcast. But yeah, there was some dude that rode this fucking massive wave, dude. Just massive. And broke some type of record. And dude, watching it was unbelievable. It just gives you goosebumps. But I'll show it to you. Here we go. Cool. So everybody can know what we're talking about. We're not talking about comics yet, but we will. Just wait. All right. Look at this, dude. 115-foot wave in Portugal. Largest wave ever surfed by Guinness Book of World Records.
That's like freaking Bodie when he's like, "Come on, man, just one more ride. Where am I gonna go?"
Yeah, that was such a great movie, dude. Is that a top 10 movie?
Fuck yeah, dude. That is a top 10 Point Break, original Point Break with early Johnny Utah Keanu, dude. Amazing.
Yeah, I agree. What up, Yee?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for the invite.
No worries. I think your mic is a little off.
Oh, let me check my settings.
Just to let you guys know, Yeezy Yee is officially a part of the Hot 10 family and show. He's not employed since he's technically an independent contractor, but if he's late again, he's fired.
You know what's funny? I've been invited now I was invited last week, but I had passed out. Like, okay, I took a nap and then it turned into sleep, and I woke up like at 4 a.m, and then I was catching up on messages and everything. I was like, oh, what the hell? I'm in I'm in a new chat group. What is this? And it said like Hot 10, and I was just like kind of like, oh, I was supposed to be on last night. Like, my bad. And then
It's
like,
like you
I was
found the
like,
Master Sword and
yeah,
Zelda.
and then like passed out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh man, I missed drunken chat. I was like, I missed everything.
Sometimes you got to do that. So,
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
You're the jack of all pods.
I mean, it's Friday, so I'm gonna try to go for the hat trick, right? Like jumping on Near Nirvana, be on the Hot 10, close out the night with drunken chat, right?
yeah,
How about the Gordie Howe hat
chat.
trick? Score a
Gotta
goal, get in a fight. What's
get
the
an
other
assist.
one? Get an assist.
Goal, assist, and a fight. The real hat trick, because they don't allow fights anymore. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. 93 live at the beginning of the show. We got some interesting stuff to talk about today. Of course, we started off with Buy the Dip. Starting off with Marvel Special Edition or Special Marvel Edition number 15, Master of Kung Fu, the first appearance of Shang-Chi, which is now on Buy the Dip because copies are selling for 9.2s, 528, 8.5s, 250, 5.0s, $85, all CGC.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so funny because I had this. I was talking a bit about this earlier. This was the number like either 3 or 5 book on Buy the Dip number 5 on my channel. And we were looking at, I think, because it's vintage and it's sought after, and there's a lot of copies out there, but I think we were looking at like 9.0 to 9.4 raws, and we were looking at ungraded, we were looking at like 8.5 to like 9.6s or something, no 9.8s. And oh my gosh, I couldn't believe the difference in price on cover price. I don't remember exactly what the numbers were, but I know it was down almost 65%. And this was on the tail end of the pandemic boom. Great time to make a decision there. I've never owned this book. I really want to own it, so it's probably going to be a move I'll be making soon. Definitely going to be a PC book for me because I like Shang-Chi. And, like we talked about on Wednesday night, the MCU adaptation, character development stuff, from the source material, it's not dead, but it is, the window is tight, and it's, what did Brian call it? Near death.
Yeah.
And it's just not doing a lot long term. And I don't mean long term wait. I mean like, how we wait through the first teaser to the movie and then the week of the release, so on and so forth. Well, I mean, at least we do have pretty much confirmation there's going to be a second Shang-Chi. And we know in the comics he did, if they do at least stick to a tiny bit of the source material, he becomes an Avenger. So I think that this book will bounce back regardless because it's a sought after grail.
Yeah.
Man, I definitely remember looking at 9.2s when they were like floating around $1,000. And then being of like Chinese descent, like, to me, it's like it's one of those titles that I probably should have in my collection, especially the first appearance, right? I have second appearance, like issue 16, that I got for a decent price.
Good book.
Yeah, but I definitely want a 15, especially like anything above the 9.0 to me, with that all black cover. Like,
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I would buy this book. I really like the character that they're building in the MCU. I hope that they build more on him. I thought that movie was probably one of the and one of the reasons, is because of how bad everything has been. But that character's MCU stuff has been good for what I think.
100%, 100%. The only thing I didn't like about that movie, I think it was the only thing that the only objective, I didn't like that stupid red drag, whatever that was like the MCU's like original character from Fin Foom. Like we thought it was Fin Foom and it ended up being like an original character. I didn't like how they did that, but everything else was really cool. I really like
the dragon that came out of the cave.
Yeah. I'm really into martial arts. Watching it, I love Bruce Lee, Jeet Kune Do. A lot of people don't know this. I know Hoist Gracie. along with guys like Ken Shamrock and Randy Couture and original Olympic wrestlers like there's a lot. Mark Coleman, even Tito Ortiz. They kind of brought to the forefront the UFC and MMA, developed it in a sense. Then there was oversight with the weight classes that made it really popular. But I really like the old school Jeet Kune Do, and Shang-Chi is huge on Kung Fu and Jeet Kune Do combined, and that is also a part of Muay Thai and stand up in MMA. It's like the original, so it's really cool. I like it.
Looks like I'm gonna have to hit up one of my partners in crime, Danger Room Comics. He's got a copy for me.
There you go.
Oh wow, cool. Cool.
Sweet.
So, all right. Moving on to the next by the dip. Superman Batman issue number 7, the European Panini variant or Delato variant, which 9/8 have dropped to $220. And I'm not sure what 9/8 were selling before this, but if Stein's putting it on by the dip, there's a reason that he's doing it, because it's dropped in price. Chat, or does anybody know what they've dropped to? It's a beautiful cover. It's probably one of Delato's better covers in my opinion, but I feel like a lot of these books are starting to kind of take a little bit of a hit, because was this part of like something over there? I can't remember if this was part of an event or a con or something like that. You guys know? You guys remember?
Yeah, so there's two versions of this book. There's the Delato limited to 2000, the French edition. This is the French edition. Reprints Batman 657, Superman 656, Action Comics 843, and DC 823. There exists a reprint of this cover that sells for approximately 10 to 15% of the FMV about 2 years ago, and a raw copy of this I think it was around $200. So I'm guessing the CGC 9/8 was probably more. I'm not going to even guess at the numbers, but case in point is in the guts. You got 4 solid reprints, and you have 2 versions of the book. This one, I believe, is the foil, correct?
I'm not
sure.
No,
it's not the foil. It's
Superman,
not the foil.
Batman number 7.
Right. This is
Euro.
So the foil is the cheap one. The foil is the $30 one. This one is the Superman Batman 7 French edition. This one, at one point was like 200 plus. CGC 9/8 has to be more expensive. A lot of cool gut key issue stories in there too. Not my forte, but I probably won't be making a move on this at all. But a lot of people do like this stuff, and Delato's on fire right now. So.
Yep.
We're getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, he is getting a lot of attention. That's for sure. Lately, more attention than he's had in probably the last couple of years.
Yep.
All right, moving on. This is the Rocketeer Kickstarter variant, the Adam Hughes. That has, I guess, dropped also. Raws are around 40 and CGC 9/8 around 80. I can't remember. Was this the one that was sold like on one of the persons on somebody's site, and then there was one that you can only get through the Kickstarter? There was the one with the Jay Lee, right? That you can only get through the Kickstarter, and then I think this was one that they did some type of exclusive where they sold it, right? This is the one that I forget how much they were. They're probably like
this is the original Kickstarter, and I think CGC at the point when we were talking about this last time, because it was on the almost 10, we had a long conversation about it. Ben knows a really lot about it, but CGC 9/8 were over $200 at one point, I believe. So Raws, I'm guessing probably around 60 to 80. Yeah, no problem, Dad. But it's down. CGC 9/8 for $80. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind buying that.
Yeah,
I think I have a raw one, but I would have rather just bought a 9/8 for $80.
Was this the one they reprinted into a version variant? Like not too long ago?
For number 1, the 1 in 10. Yeah.
Okay,
I love it. It's so dope, the version.
But do you think because they reused the art that
it killed?
it kind of lessens the value of this one or the demand.
Definitely.
For,
in my opinion, yes, definitely.
But I mean, like, yeah. But if you're a completionist, you're gonna have both, right?
Of course, and remember, cover A of number 1 or 0 or whatever of the actual release title through Diamond that released last month or 2 months ago. That one is actually the same cover art as well, but it has the trade on it all over. Mm-hmm. So that's three times they total that they used the same art.
Then I must have used so the one that I'm showing right now is the one with the trade on it. So
okay,
yeah, but the Virgin is the 1 in 10.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so the Kickstarter is the one in question now. We're not sure exactly what the cover looks like. I'm sure someone in the chat knows.
Let me bring it up to show everybody, because you guys, we're when you don't have the guy who writes the list, it's kind of hard. So we're gonna bring up the Kickstarter here. Hold on, just so we can take a look at the Dave Stevens Kickstarter, right?
Oh, yeah. Was this a Kickstarter for that documentary that he had?
Yeah.
Then too. Okay.
Yeah.
Which you can watch on Amazon if you didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yep. I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it.
Yeah, this is the art they're using for. Yeah, you're right, Aaron. Nice one.
So, okay. Yeah, I have the right one then.
Yeah, you do have the right one. That's why I was like, "What's going on here?"
What was the so the other one is the Virgin one that they sold, right?
Yeah, there's number 0, the regular one that actually was released to retailers, and that one it's a different image, similar art, same hues. It's a different image though, and it's Virgin.
Gotcha.
And then that, yeah, so it actually isn't 3 times. So it's actually twice they use the same cover art for cover A and the 1 in 10. My bad. And the Kickstarter is different. So my bad. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good call.
All right. Let's move on. Yeah. So go.
Sorry.
Man,
we'll do better. No more.
I would buy a 9.8 of this for $80. Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Be on the lookout, you guys, for that one. Next. Wonder Woman number 799, the Raza 2023 Philadelphia Fan Expo Virgin foil variant, supposedly limited to 1,000. I love cover price right now. By the way, you guys, we're going to talk about cover price a couple times tonight, but cover price, I love how they're listening to the collectors out there and how they do things and stuff, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they started putting limited for like non-ratio variants and stuff, and the ratios will say, out of 250 or, with the parentheses out of, so I think I'm glad that they're doing that. But anyways, that was a tangent.
Limited. No. I like what you said there. I wanted to add to that. I think that's an awesome take right there. And let me allude to that. I think they're killing it too. I wanted to talk to Matt, and I just haven't had the time, but I think they're set up perfect to also have a cold keys section, and they would go hand in glove with Buy the Dip as well. So hopefully we can talk to them about that later.
Yeah, for sure. All right, yeah. So this is the Raza foil variant 9/8, you guys. You can pick up for $50.
Oh wow! Like, because Raws are selling for like crazy amount when like this book first hit the market.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume that like if you're going to this convention, you're paying like anywhere from $30 to $50 for a foil variant, and then you're paying like $40 to grade as well on top of that. So you're already in like at least $80. Like, so
wow, dude. Yeah. $50. That's nuts. I'll definitely buy one of these for $50 for sure. All right, next on Buy the Dip. This is one we definitely needed Stein here for this one. Okay, Sports Illustrated, the July 2023 issue. Volume 34, number 6, for all you Sports Illustrated fans. This is the United States Women's National Team World Cup preview. And I don't know what they were selling before. They must have been selling for a decent amount, because now they're selling 9/8 for $50 since they didn't win anything. But, for those people out there, I wonder if our buddy Bill has if his daughter is in this one, and maybe he can pick up a 9/8 for cheap now, and his daughter's in the magazine, if they talk about the other women's World Cup teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100. Joe knows a lot about magazines as well. I know he's heavy into early Sports Illustrated, and he is one of the first person that I've talked to that is actually actively looking. I mean, this was at least 2 years ago, maybe on flip side, that he was talking about grabbing fantasy football magazines as well. But yeah, I think obviously this is an early jump on this stuff. CGC is grading it. People are listing. There's one right now on an auction. I'm looking at it. It's only at $15.50, but there's still another day. There's 7 bids on it. So that means, at least there's people interested in this. So it definitely seems like a growing trend. It's good to grab while on the dip.
Where's the one?
Or at least make that decision. At least you guys make that decision. But
and then if the girls in here are able to get to the World Cup for women, like, they're obviously going to move on to like a different or something bigger, or I guess like into another professional team.
Not necessarily.
Oh, not necessarily? You don't think so?
For women's soccer, no.
I don't think so. Not for women's soccer.
But isn't there a women's league though?
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not like the men's league. Yeah, like, I don't think WNBA players make anywhere near as much as NBA players. So I don't think people really. I mean, people will collect. And what are you getting at? Is that you can spec on them early, right?
Right. Like, since they've proven themselves somewhat, and then this is like on the dip right now because obviously the U.S. team didn't win.
Yeah.
So, but it could rise again in price for like maybe like the Olympic team. Like, if some of these players are on that, and that's how you could, like, their first appearance was in this magazine, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because I wonder if Bill's daughter's first appearance is in this. Well, no, they're probably in other soccer magazines or football magazines, something like
Okay.
Yeah. This is interesting. All right.
Yeah. Stein needs to be here for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or give us more notes.
Finally, Star Wars Kanan issue number 1, the 1 in 25. Of course, it's got first Kanans, first cameos of Ezra, Sabine, and who's the other?
Hera. And Kanan Jarrus. I think you said that.
Yeah.
Debatable first. I mean, for a long time, this was the book. I mean, it still is. But 6... I think 6 now is the big one, right?
Well,
it's all about that Lego one.
Yeah, I agree.
The reading order, by the way, guys, so you know, I've read this entire tie-in. So after 1 and 2, it goes into which one, Brian? Darth Vader 1 in the 2017 series.
Yeah, there you go. Well, buy this for $30 raw if you find it. All right.
Oh,
kidding me?
That's a no-brainer because like A covers were selling for $100 at one point in time. Like,
what did we used to call it on flip side? We used to call it low-hanging fruit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Even the Scotty Young is cool. We love Scotty Young, but that's a percentile qualifier, aka retailer and lock variant. So yeah,
I'm definitely not a fan of this cover. It doesn't look good. I will admit. I agree with the people in the chat for everybody in the chat that's saying that. I don't think this is a good cover, but it still is a 1 in 25 ratio. So
yeah.
Personally, I prefer the second print black.
I like the Scotty Young.
I like the Scotty Young too.
Scotty one, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, I like the Books a Million one with the Vader cover. Like Noto Vader, right? But I did find out that this Ahsoka series is bumped up a date. It's on the 22nd now.
So 4 days.
So it's not on the 23rd anymore?
Yeah, so they're bumping it up to the 22nd. So I think they're probably going to take over that Wednesday time period of when they were dropping in. I don't know if they're doing it in the morning, but I think this, they're doing that the first 2 episodes, right, for the premiere of the series. I forgot what time someone on Nearing said. I think it was like 6 p.m. Pacific.
Well, I'm definitely going to be watching Ahsoka, unless the first episode is just so bad that I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. You know what I mean? So.
You're not going to give it the 2 episodes that it's dropping?
Oh, I'm definitely. Yeah, that's what I mean. The first night, the first 2 episodes, so it's only like an hour. So yeah, I'll definitely watch the first 2 episodes. But if they're that bad that I have to walk away, man, that means it's going to be bad. So
Aaron, are you saying that they're gonna actually the premiere is gonna be at 6 p.m. Pacific time?
Yeah, that's what I've read in the chat somewhere. I haven't confirmed by looking it up, but yeah, I heard instead of like dropping it like at 2 in the morning, that
Justin Shannon, shout out to Justin Shannon, very sharp dude, big Steelers fan. Kenny Pickett, let's go.
Congrats on that, by the way.
So yeah. After the Ahsoka, we're going to do Buy the Dip number 7, and we're going to do 10 books. I'm going to try to do 10 books, but I'll probably do it. I have to work. I'm probably about 8 o'clock Pacific. So
there we go. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Buy the Dip. I believe that's the end. Yeah, that's the end. So there you go. Masters of Kung Fu for Shang-Chi, the Del Auto Euro, the Rocketeer Adam Hughes, the Raza Wonder Woman foil, the United States Women's National Team SI, and the Kanan on Buy the Dip this week. Let's move on to the Almost 10. Starting off with one of my all-time favorite books, Incredible Hulk, number 377, the 3rd print. Every single print of this book is great. The second print, where they flip the colors, is great. The first print is great. This is one of the best covers ever. It is definitely Dale Keown's best cover ever, in my opinion. It's probably top 5 most iconic Hulk covers, I would say. The pose is used everywhere.
Professor Hulk in the guts, iconic, definitely.
So rare to find this 3rd print. It is so rare to find it in high grade, and anytime you see it, if you can get it for cheap, get it. Period. The only person
I know that has it is Ant.
I have 2 of them.
You have 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah, but
shout out to
Ant has. I want to say Ant. Does Ant have a 9.8 or is it an 8.0?
I can't
remember.
He might
have a 9.8 of this, because this is one of his favorite covers too.
Right, because he has all 3 graded in there in a row, and I just don't remember the grades. Shout
out to Bird City Comics. Yeah, man, just such a killer. Look how great the purple and the green play off each other too, and having the Hulk all blacked out like that, it's so good. Such a great, and the green looks so. When you see this book in the wild, you instantly are like, something's off about that, because that green is such a weird color of the green that it just feels off. So you'll notice it immediately. So very, very cool book.
It's like the green that you would see like as he's transforming into the Hulk, right? Almost.
Yeah.
I get to do by the random. Oh, go guys. Yeah.
Stein is saying that a CGC 9.8 of this sold for $14,750. His previous all-time high was $3,000, but still, you know what I mean. That's pandemic prices. I think we have to take those. I feel like at some point we're gonna have to pull out those prices and just like. This was void those years, right? Yeah,
just scratch them out.
Just scratch them out. Yeah.
When Stein like broke down it on the graph, that was like so great. Like that needs to be a clip. Like,
wow, man. Anybody that could find a 9.8 potential 9.8 of this, man, congrats.
So someone, I think Stein posted it like when he saw the sale, and then every time I see on eBay postings like that, like I always see the or best offer, and I have to know, like, was it a best offer, because they don't always do the line across anymore.
I know, it sucks.
So I use a 130 point to look it up. I know Terra Peak is usually a go-to as well, but I was like, just quick research, like 130 point is where I go, and I saw that it actually did sell for that 14K. I don't know if it was paid for. I mean, that's what's in question, right?
Yeah, it's always like, whenever we do market reports and these hot tens and we see things that pay for it, that is always in question. The prices are always in question, unless like you're the one that bought it, right?
Or sold it.
Even if you sold it, like at that point, if you sold it, you're right, because then eBay would have to send it back. The guy would have to screw you over or something, but you still sold it for that much, if the guy got his money back or something. But yeah, either you have to buy it or sold it yourself to truly know that these prices are, super tight.
Right.
No fuckery going on.
No.
Yeah, 14K. Jesus. All right. Good stuff. Be on the lookout for any of the prints. There's also a really cool foreign variant of this, I believe, where it's like a white variant, which is super cool. Yeah, super cool. So, all right, moving on. Next on the Almost 10, we talked about this book on the Market Report the other night. This is the ESPN The Magazine Body Issue Superheroes Edition. And here's the part I didn't know. This was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive giveaway in 2015. You can see on the front it says custom edition. I think it's a second printing or third printing on there or something. I can't see it very well, but it says custom edition. Of course, it's got the Hulk on it. It's a killer Jim Chung cover, one of my all-time favorite artists, top 10. Just a beautiful image all around, and it looks so good in a magazine holder. And I'm sure Stein saw the same sale that I saw, as it sold in a CGC 9.8 for $350. And now that I know it was a giveaway at a panel, I wonder how many there are out there. What panel was it a giveaway at, and all that type of stuff. I'm sure we'll figure that out. We'll hear about that stuff as the weeks go by. But this is a super cool killer book.
It almost looks like Hulk's a football player.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. Look at the background. I love Jim Chung's signature too. It's so good. It's kind of like Mark Brooks' signature. How they're like those little
corner boxes, or
corner box,
not
like
corner
almost
box,
kanji type things,
or art box, I guess.
Yeah,
or artist signature box. I don't know what you call those.
Badass, whatever it is, it's
Yeah.
badass. It's super cool. So, but yeah, this is a rare magazine, aka or / comic magazine, because it is a variant that they did specifically for San Diego Comic-Con. It's kind of interesting that Marvel ESPN is owned by Disney too, right? So they can do these. And here's the cool thing. Check this out. All right, so let me show you what's on the inside. This is crazy too, because they did a website for it. Look at this website, dude. Superhero edition, the body issue, right? Superhero edition shows Daredevil. It says his debut, 1964, power, superhuman senses. Sex sells. Perhaps that's why the executives have not given Wolverine a beer gut, says Alex Maleev, who must have done the art for this part. And you can slide it to reveal. There you go. You can see both the preliminary and the end. How cool is this?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, it says debut 1969, power, concussive energy burst. Sarah Pacelli said, I work to combine correct proportions and powerful muscle shapes with a commonly accepted idea of beauty. Here is her preliminary, and here's the end. Medusa says 1965, super strong prehensile hair. Women are more delicate in muscle mass definition, so the secret is to not define each muscle too much, says Lupacino. And here is Lupacino's prelim. And then the art. Wow. That is, holy cow, man. Holy cow.
How did it... Do you happen to know how they do it in the magazine? Is it like the prelim sketch and the full drawing as well?
I don't know.
Or...
That's a good question.
Okay.
If anybody has the magazine, let us know. Luke Cage, 1972, power, super strength, and durability. And Linnell Francis Yu says, I tend to gravitate toward athletes when it comes to getting reference for my artwork, particularly MMA fighters who have more of a functional physique. And there's Linnell Francis Yu's prelim, and there's his end.
I wonder if they do it like right where you have the beginning here, where it's like half and half.
I know. Well, it's because their ass, they're not going to show their ass. Oh, you mean half and half this way?
Yeah.
She-Hulk, debut 1980, power, superhuman strength, agility, and speed. Frank Cho says, she's a character of power, so I keep her upright, shoulders back, chest out, very commanding presence. There's his prelim. There's his end. And then Iron Fist, Russell Dodderman. I'll just go through them really quick. There's the prelim, the end. Iron Man by Mike Deodato. Prelim, end. Hulk by Jim Chung, of course. Prelim, end. It looks so good, dude. Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see this artist process too, right?
Right?
Like,
that's why I was like, I got to show everybody this.
Yeah. Especially like how much some artists put like a ton of detail in it, and some do like the bare minimum, and then like to see the final piece, like, oh. Yeah.
This is Greg Land. He did Ant-Man, and I love how he just shows his bottom half. So, and yeah, that was it. So if you guys want to go check it out, Superhero Edition, you could look it up on the web. It is out there. But yeah, almost 10. Superhero Edition, ESPN Magazine. All right, let's move on. Next. This is an interesting one. Life is Strange, issue number 1. They have A and B covers, and Stein wanted to key in on the game art covers. They have a game art covers of Chloe and Max. So he just put game art covers, so I just put up both covers up there. And yeah, so what did he say about this one? He said that CGC 96s are selling for around $200 of the game art covers of these. I don't know how you got them or where they came from, but yeah, this is from Titan Comics from 2018. Life is Strange.
Yeah, shit, I think it was like the summer of 2021. Legendary optioned, and then it went into production. Then we didn't hear anything, and then it was around Valentine's Day of last year that it was confirmed to be a TV series slated for Amazon coming.
Really? Well, that's dope. That's super cool. There you go. Life is Strange. Do we know anything about? Is anybody in the chat read this? Let us know. Tell us what you think. But yeah, these are the two game art covers. Be on the lookout. Maybe you might be able. Listen, a lot of these books, you guys, and you've seen it happen on the Hot 10 or Drunken Chat as we're talking about them. You can still find these on the net at some stores, whether it's like the Game Store or Amazon. You can sometimes still find these for pretty cheap. So especially with the Almost 10, because the Almost 10 is a lot of books that we're just kind of showing you to be like, check this out, you know, and they haven't gotten hot yet necessarily. So, all right, moving on. This one's super cool. Okay. Bogcast moment, UFO report moment. So if you guys follow the Bogcast, you know that I do a UFO report every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/the Bogcast, BOGCAST. You can find more information in the link below. we have talked about To the Stars Academy for years now on this show, the podcast. If you guys don't know, To the Stars Academy was started by Tom DeLonge after Tom DeLonge basically met the chief of staff for Barack Obama, and the chief of staff for Barack Obama basically told Tom DeLonge that UFOs are real. And Tom DeLonge went down this rabbit hole and started meeting all these people that are working on UFOs and have seen UFOs and all that crazy stuff. I know it sounds crazy, but as you guys know now, it is true. So, anyways, Tom DeLonge started what's called To the Stars Academy. And To the Stars is what the hell is going on? To the Stars is what's the best way to say it? It is a place that he likes to tell people about what's going on, and he also writes books, novels. And the reason why he does this at To the Stars is because he was kind of chosen to be the guy that tells everybody about the UFOs without freaking them out. The way that it's been put is that the government basically needed somebody who people wouldn't look at as a crazy government guy, a crazy military guy, some type of kook. Kids or people who are 20 in their 30s and 40s can relate to him because they grew up liking him, and they basically used Tom DeLonge, right? Tom DeLonge went on Joe Rogan, and the dominoes fell. This is a comic he put out called Dreamwalker, and this is the To the Stars Jet variant based on this author Jet. I don't know much about the author, but you could only get this at To the Stars Academy's webpage, and that's it, this version. So I need one of these. I didn't know about these. I feel like an idiot. I wish I would have had one. So if anybody out there knows about these, please let me know. But this is super cool right here. This is from Magnetic Pressing. There's also a book out there about it. So if you guys want to check out the book, it's out there. It's pretty interesting. So, but yeah, check it out. Good stuff.
I mean,
how much is this? How much did he write that this is going for, Richie?
So he's got. Sorry, something just popped up. He has $100 in 7.0 condition.
Wow. So there you go. I'm going to end up paying $100 for this thing in shitty condition. So if you got a decent condition,
it's modern. Yeah.
Well, that was really smart too, to use a public figure that's like someone that's like not hated at all either too. And that's really popular, not only like in the US but worldwide, right?
Yes. Big time.
And then hasn't done anything like kind of like, I guess, like sketch, right? To say it nicely.
So they've been waiting for years to do that. They initially tried to do it with Disney back in 1977, I believe. There was a planned documentary on UFOs that at the end, that was made by Disney. That at the end of the documentary, they were going to show the landing at Holloman Air Force Base where Eisenhower met aliens, supposedly. And 3 days, you can go find TV Guide magazines showing that it was scheduled. Somebody actually put out a recording or something of the original. You can find it now on YouTube. But 3 days before they were supposed to air it, the government said you can't play the stuff that we wanted you to play at the end. So they had to take it out. Very crazy stuff about it. So they were going to use Disney to do that, right? Because they thought, people are going to see it from Disney. They're going to look at it a different way. They aren't going to fear it, this and that. Well, it just wasn't ready. And so for years went by and social media happened, Facebook, this and that, and everybody on Facebook talks about how they're okay with aliens nowadays, right? And aliens got into movies. They got to put aliens in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Spielberg helped them do all this stuff and made aliens cool. And now we've got these Disney alien movies and stuff. So we look at aliens and UFOs different. Whereas in the past, it was War of the Worlds, and they're going to take our wives. So they tried before. We supposedly weren't ready yet, but we'll see how it all plays out in the end. But
wait, they tried what before? Take our wives?
That being said, if anybody has any of these, let me know. I'd love to find one. 174 watching live. This is the almost 10, you guys. Moving on to another interesting book. We've talked about this artist on Beyond Wednesdays before. I've spotlighted this artist a couple times on my IG Art Spotlight. I do on usually Saturday and Wednesday nights, depending on what's going on. And this is very interesting. This is a self-made comic by an artist named Ethan Duploy, I believe is how you say it. He goes by Cold Fact Comics. He has an IG site called Cold Fact Clothing, which I'll go ahead and show you guys here. And we're going to talk about this for a second because I think it's going to be very interesting to talk about. Here is his site. And if you guys see this, you can see stuff that I've showed before, the Kanye's, all these ones that I love it how they look like old magazines. The MF Doom, what's this dude's name? I forget his name. Tyler the Creator. They're just cool. And this is a really cool one that I showed recently, the Mac Miller one. And he basically, puts these out. He makes them. And it's just like any other. There you go. That's pretty interesting. It's just like any other art book that people are putting out, like Kyle Willis is putting out and things like that, right? This is his store. He's got a store, and you can see he's got, all the different, I guess, comics that he makes. So we've talked about people selling print, like things that they print on their own and stuff like that, right, before. And there has been some people that we've seen on eBay that will like print super rare variants and then put the guts of the regular cover in there and sell that as a variant. Very bad. Disavow. All right? Don't pull that shit. And from what I hear, eBay is taking those photocopied stuff off. So shout out. I forget who asked about that, but who was it?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So somebody asked me about that and let us know on the last comments for the last show. But so this guy puts out these comics. I don't know how many he makes of each, but he's printing himself, and it has inside, it's 8 pages of his art. Okay. I'm cool with this. I don't have a problem with this as long as he's creating the art on his own. And he looks like a pretty badass artist. These look pretty great. If they're $25 a piece, I don't feel bad about these. I think this guy is doing good stuff. And this is the type of stuff that I like when it comes to people creating their own comics and, their art books and stuff. I'm totally okay with this, and I hope we see more of this. So this is a cool thing. But Stein saw this, and I guess he saw a sale of this recently for $60 on eBay. I guess it sold for, and yeah, so pretty cool art and good idea in my opinion. I don't see anything crazy about it yet, but my opinion can always change. What do you guys think about it?
As soon as I saw the cover, the song popped into my head.
Mm-hmm.
Soft pass for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I agree with you. I do like the old school look to it. I like how they're taking pop culture icons or musicians and throwing them something related to what their music is, right?
Yeah.
But still with staying within that classic comic look. So I like this. I mean, I don't know if I would go out and buy this particular issue. But yeah, I'll definitely check out some of the other books.
Yeah, the other ones there's some really cool ones, man. The Mac Miller one's really badass.
Mm-hmm.
There is Little Uzi one where he's the Spider-Man homage, but I'm not a fan of. I think Little Uzi's cheesy, so I don't think I'm gonna buy that book. But yeah, I like it.
You mean you don't like mumble rap? Like, what's wrong? No, I wasn't gonna finish that sentence.
Oh, that comic did not sell. It was actually relisted. Okay.
Oh.
Well, I'm okay with that because these are just almost 10 books, so just showing books that we see. But you can pick them up for $25. So, all right, moving on. One of the greatest comic books of all time, Hack Slash Suicide Girls Annual #1, the Tim Seeley variant. Hack Slash is probably top 5 most underrated comic book series of all time. The variant covers are great. The regular covers are great. Tim Seeley is amazing. Love both him and Josh Blaylock and what they did with Devil's Due and all that crazy. I just think it's so underrated, and this is one of the toughest covers to find. Absolute banger right here, as you guys can see. And this one sold for $350 raw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we definitely need a sound clip of a mama. So.
Yes.
Mama. Yeah. I even like the what is it? Is it the cover A that has the Suicide Girls on it? That's cool too. The Tim Seeley. Yeah, it's dope too.
Of course, be on the lookout for the Hack Slash first Jenny Frison cover ever. So it was drawn before the Voltron, but because of scheduling issues, it came out a week after the Voltron. But it is her first ever drawn cover. All right.
Oh, I have that cover. Sweet.
The Wizard of Oz one.
Mm-hmm. I don't have the Voltron one, but I want the Voltron one also.
It doesn't have a really pretty Jenny Frison look. It's very ugly in a way that you look at it and there's like, oh man, there's something like off about it, like scary.
The Hack Slash one?
Yeah, the Hack Slash one.
Yeah, there's something off-putting about it, right? I think it's like the harsh lines and just the layout of the book, right?
Yeah, the way that Dorothy looks, yeah.
With a scarecrow too, like there. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Chevelle Noir. I think that's how you say it. Chevelle Noir. Chevelle is probably said wrong, but it's definitely Noir. #1. Man, that is a excellent cover. What a freaking cover right there. Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? Jesus.
No wonder Leg loves Dave Stevens. Jeez.
Yeah.
Brett Hess, ask for more booty and you shall receive.
Yeah, right here. You're welcome.
Oh, but definitely check out that Dave Stevens documentary, and then you can see like his why his influence is the way it is, like, and then how he ended up with like a piece like this later in his career. It's great stories. Like can't recommend it nearly enough.
Yeah, I agree. This one sold in a 9.8 for $650, all-time high.
Wow.
And we were talking about this the other night when I brought up like how Spec is changing and stuff. Dave Stevens' books are seeing all-time highs right now when everything else is down up to 70%, 40 to 70%, if not more. But there's certain books that are seeing those upticks because people just didn't know about them, or they were looked at differently. And Dave Stevens is one of those, outliers. Dave Stevens' books are all seeing upward ticks, which is a good thing. Oh. All right, moving on. Next. The Downtown Hip Hop Biggie Chrome Silver cover out of 125. K-Rich comic art. I guess K-Rich is the artist, I'm thinking. So we talked about these on Beyond Wednesday's issue. I think Josh, International Comics Josh, was the one that kind of brought it up. And it was live on the show. And I saw it. And I'm like, I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but I know it's going to be a popular cover, so I'm going to buy one of the the guaranteed 9.8s. I think I bought 2 of the 9.8s because I knew that they were going to sell. And I got lucky and I didn't know about this either until Yi told me. I guess everybody that bought a copy of these had a chance to get one of the gold ones numbered to 25. And this showed up in my mail. It's number 3 of 25 of the gold ones the other day. And I had no idea. I was like, I don't remember buying a non-graded one. And during pickups last night, I was like, I showed it and he's like, bro, you won that. Like, I was like, no shit. Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I like the silver and gold play that they do, because it's just like cards, right? Where the gold is the numbered out of like what, 10 or is it 50? I can't remember.
Well, it's
but anyway,
5 with Panini, I think, right? Well, I had a gold vinyl Debo rookie that was numbered to 5.
Tops is 50.
Tops is 50.
But Tops is 50, but then for downtown specifically, they have a gold number. I can't remember what it is. I think it's out of 10 or something like that. But I mean, and then especially with sports card collectors, they will definitely chase after the Marvel hip hop covers. This was definitely a smart play for whoever created this comic to do downtown's hip hop, and boom.
Well, it is just another comic art book. It's just got that K. Rich's guy's art inside. So that's the only problem that I really see with it. That I don't think it's a problem. It's just something that maybe some people might not be so quick to collect. But he did a good job with the cover. I'm not a huge fan of downtowns. I've never been a huge fan of downtowns.
Really? I like them a lot.
Yeah.
I've only pulled one downtown. It was out of the Dawn Rest of Aiden Hutchinson. I prefer I have held at a shop I think it was an Optic downtown, so the heavier cardstock versus the Dawn Rest. I like the heavier cardstock downtown. I think I even brought this up in one of our conversations over the phone, Brian. Like, I was like, which one would you rather have? Like, would you have a Dawn Rest or an Optic? And you were like, Optic.
Optic. Yeah, I agree with that. And then since I don't collect football, like, there's no way I'm going to pull it downtown because I'm not paying for a 1-in-1 box.
Well, it's in the baseball too. If you're doing the Panini no MLB license.
But I want that logo so bad.
Well, the consolation of that are the home field advantages, right? They look like they're Topps iteration of downtowns, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're, and then because Topps did that, they kind of do look like copycats or whatever, even though they rebranded it and everything. But I think it'll take years for people to pick up on those.
I totally agree with you. I remember you told me that a few months ago. Totally agree with you. I think you even used the term market correction is coming long term. So I agree. I definitely agree.
Well, there it is. This is the one silver out of 125, and Stein has it on here that it is selling for 70 to 90 raw right now. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
What was the original? Oh,
go ahead.
I was going to ask, what was the original buy-in for it? It wasn't more than like $50, right?
I can't remember the original buy-in. I think I bought the 9.8 for. Well, let me go take a look here. $79.99 were the 9.8s. So I think I bought 3 of them. Because you're paying $80 just for the guaranteed 9.8s.
That's not bad at all. It's like, especially like if Raw's already selling for that much. So like when you get your graded ones, and
yeah, every copy ordered is. So here's the site, and it says, what is that? Every copy ordered is one entry into the live raffle for the extremely limited gold foil. Make sure you know your order number. Depending on a sellout, there will be 20 gold foil raffle drawings. So I didn't even know my order number. So I'm glad I won. That was super cool. But yeah, $80 were the 9.8. So I imagine everything else was probably a decent price. So yeah, if you're able to flip it for 4 times the value, that's not bad.
I want to say a viewer. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, bud.
I was going to say I'm pretty sure a viewer also won one of the gold ones. I don't remember who, so sorry.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Cool. If anybody won it, let us know. All right. Here we go. Oh, this is cool. Decor says he missed the Chevelle Noir, but number 15 of that series is the first cover by Yoshitaka Amano, the Final Fantasy artist. I'm going to put that in the Beyond Wednesdays collectors or creators first list. That's cool. I'm going to definitely put that in there. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And make sure everyone follow his 2.0 Instagram account.
Yeah, AOA, can you drop a link to that for us, buddy?
Yeah, Decor's got a new Decor 2.0 Instagram account, so make sure to check it out. All right, moving on. Next. This one's why I love Almost 10. Adventures of Superman, issue number 443, the mall variants. All right, you ready for this? This is crazy. Freaking stuff.
You got Recall Comics up?
Yep, I sure do. You're freaking right. Look at this. So, this was during the 50th anniversary of Action Comics. And at the time, they had all these celebration things. And you can find all these magazines that they had celebration, images of. Well, they did this thing where at malls, it says here, other anecdotal memories from the time, including at least one mall hosting a traveling Superman show where Superman initially hides in the audience as Clark Kent before springing into action. An original owner also recalled finding a stack of free copies of Superman, the Adventures of Superman book, on a table in the Deerbrook Mall and took two. He also remembered being excited about the 50th. Each one of the malls that was a partner on the UPC area, it would say the mall. So here's all the different malls that they know of. Clearview, Cranberry, Deerbrook, Eden Prairie Center, Fiesta Mall, which is in Phoenix, Florence Mall, Georgetown Park, Montclair Plaza, New Park Mall, North Shore Square, Rhode Island.
I've been to
Mall.
Rhode Island Mall.
Okay. Spring Hill Mall, the Parks at Arlington, Town East Mall, Washington Park Mall, Westgate Mall, which is also in Phoenix, and Willowbrook Mall. So,
dang,
Westgate's in Cali too, yeah.
Willowbrook and Deerbrook Mall, those are in Houston.
So, I mean, you can find these by you guys. If you heard of any of those malls, just make sure you're checking out Half Price Books or comic shops. Go look for Superman 443, and you have a chance at finding these super rare mall variants. Okay? And as you can see, this one that we're showing came from Georgetown Park. You can see the mall is in the little UPC box. And Stein said that one of these sold for $330 raw. Right? That's freaking crazy, dude. That's absolutely super, super cool that you can find. This is a book that you watch the Almost 10 for, right? This is the type of book that makes content, creating content, and sharing these things so much fun. So be on the lookout for it. All right, so Stein, I forgot one last book. This is my bad. That Stein has on the list. That is one of my, and I feel like an idiot because it's one of my all-time favorite books.
The Mousy?
Yeah. Mouse Guard #1 by David Peterson. I remember when this book came out, I saw David Peterson at a comic convention, and I just thought, man, this is super cool. And they're weird format. They're almost magazine, but a little bit like shorter and squattier, and you have to make bags for them. And I just thought it was so cool. And I remember being like, man, I probably should pick one of these up. And I didn't pick one of them up. And I feel so stupid because there are super rare versions of this that he was selling at cons before it got put out. by a publisher that sell for a ton. But this is Mouse Guard Belly of the Beast. Came out from Archaea Studios Press, who picked it up to put it out in 2006. I think this is the variant right here. Let's take a look.
I've been digging for this book for almost 8 years.
Yeah, it's hard to find, dude. It's super hard to find. So let's see if I can find the original on here. No. But it is a very, very cool book. Be on the lookout for it. They're hard to find. The originals were signed, I believe. But the prices on these are starting to go up, which is a good thing. I always thought this would be a book that should be an animation or a movie. But Stein has it on the list this week for the Almost 10 because he saw a CGC 9.8 sell for $2,700.
Wow.
Yeah. Right? That's pretty good. So
wait, how much again?
$2,700, dude. For a 9.8.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
are people getting like pandemic money again that we don't know about?
Yeah, it's called ERC.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's I don't know, man. I'm gonna go because that seems like for the original Mouse Guard ones, and yeah, shout out to James Kreider. He said he got a set of first prints at 5th and Charles. Yeah, you got to remember there are different prints on the Archaea ones, but he's in it's in development hell. So I don't know if there's anything new going on. It's sad, man. It's sad, but. That is the Almost 10, ladies and gentlemen. 186 watching live. Shout out to our boy Ben Stein, who was not able to be here tonight, but we are guiding the ship for him. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're watching live, please do that now because that is one of the best things you can do to help bring other people to watch live. It gets put in the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribed if you're not subscribed. If you're not subscribed already, it's very easy. Just look down below at the little button and it should say subscribe. And if you're subscribed, it'll say subscribed. And if it says subscribe, hit it. It'll really help us out. And you can also do the same for all of our social medias and our personal YouTube channels. You can find all those links in the description below. Let's get into the Hot 10 list. Starting off with our Golden Age issue this week, our Golden Age honorable mention. This is a beautiful cover. Giant Comics Edition, issue number 15 from St. John Publishing from January of 1950. That is a cool... Look at the colors on that cover. And is this a headlights cover or just a headlight cover? Let us know. Chat. How much did he say this one sold for, Richie?
Oh man, I just clicked that off. Give me 1 second, pull it back up. And he says that it sold for so CBCS 3.5, $3,100. He goes on and says rated a 7 on the Gerber Scarcity Index. I could only find one graded sale of this book in the past 3 years.
Wow. That's crazy. Again, perfect example of why if you find these Golden Age books in a flea market or something, even if they're in bad condition, just check on them. They might be super rare. And
then Stein goes on to say, while there were other amazing Matt Baker sales this week on Heritage, this one stood out to me as I have never seen this cover before, and I love the narrative art books in the background.
And I think in subconsciously, since he's not here, the ghost of Ben Stein is also saying, wow, man, look at that ponytail. It is so beautiful.
Moving on.
Love you, Ben.
To the next honorable mention. Godzilla War for Humanity, issue number 1, the retailer incentive 1 in 50 from IDW. A new book and pretty damn cool art from, I know he had the artist. Who's the artist on this one?
Erica Henderson.
Thank you. Yeah, Erica Henderson art. So,
Godzilla. I had to.
Gajira. Yeah. What is it selling for?
It is selling for, okay, so now I'm the new Ben. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave this up. So it's selling for $70, the 1 in 50.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
Do
Very,
you
very
like
cool.
this cover though?
It's aight. It's aight.
It's not bad. Like I said, not bad. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's the greatest Godzilla
Yeah.
cover. Yeah.
I don't think it's a 1 in 50 type of situation though.
No, definitely not. I mean, this looks like a open to order cover, to be honest.
I mean, I like the trade, especially with the Japanese characters
Yeah.
right there at the end. But yeah, I mean, I like Momoko, but this kind of reminds me of like her work when she's not trying very hard.
I think it's the message though. Everybody, I mean, not everybody, but so many have this thing for Kajus, Godzillas, and to see right in the mouth of the beast is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's not a bad design. It's not my cup of tea. But somebody's cup of tea because it's selling for more than ratio, which is interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
I think the teeth are kind of meh, but I like the eyes though. How it's like kind of anime manga ish,
Okay.
Googly eye-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
googly eyes. Yes.
All right, those
Moving
look like
on.
weird actually. Okay.
Yeah. Moving on to a Art Adams cover that is, I can't tell if it's good or bad, but at number 10, Alpha Flight issue number 1, the Art Adams 1 in 50. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Okay. So I did a hangout on Sunday on my channel, and I literally didn't put any effort in. I mean, I did. I mean, I made a couple, shared the screen, made the thumbnail, whatever. I just want to hang out, show some pickups, and talk to people, go over Wednesday's books. And this book was part of that, a part of the topic for Wednesday's book. At first, I was like, I don't know. I like Art Adams, but I don't know. But this cover has grown on me. I think I like it. And by Tuesday, I called my shop. They had one for me. They held it, so I grabbed one. Haven't read it yet. Hit the internet just to get kind of the synopsis. There's actually multiple first appearances in here as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I got cover A as well. I'm pretty excited to read it.
Do you think it's
The
just
eyes.
the eyes, right?
The eyes freak me out, man.
Yeah, the eyes are creepy as shit.
Well, like I've seen too many girls that look like that, and I didn't talk to them very long. Like when I saw her eyes looking like that.
Meth.
Oh my gosh, let me guess.
Yeah,
Did she like contort her body and climb on the ceiling and go, fuck me?
You got any meth?
No, she was just messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I just saw a movie. It's with Russell Crowe. It's called The Pope's Exorcist, and it's not as quality as something like The Exorcist or even like Deliver Us from Evil or something like that. But because there are some cheesy parts in it, but Russell Crowe's in, of course, and he's amazing. But there's a twist on it. I really highly suggest you guys watch it. Really cool.
Yeah, I think I'll have to check that out. Usually I stay away from exorcism things because
Me too.
The scariest movie ever to me is The Exorcist because it scared the shit out of me as a kid. As a really young kid, man. I remember seeing her face and just the fact that at the time you think that like maybe possession could be real, and that shit scares the hell out of me, man. Back in the day. Now, I recently watched Exorcist, and it's laughable how ridiculous it is. But man, just thinking of Reagan's face, it made me, as a kid, made me want to get a nightlight, dude. Like, what the fuck?
100. It's funny. My dad watched Pope's Exorcist with me too, and he hates horror movies. He thinks they're so, not like creepy. He just thinks they're dumb.
Yeah.
But he loves The Exorcist. And when I was like, we were watching Pope's Exorcist together, I was like, this is way better than The Exorcist. And he's like, but you don't understand. During that time, The Exorcist was nobody had ever
scariest
done
movie
it
ever
before.
to come out.
And on top of that,
time.
right, exactly. Remember the clip they cut out for the theatrical, and then they showed years later with her going
coming down the
backwards on
stairs. Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I've made up my mind. I do not like this cover. I can give you 2 reasons why.
Okay.
Art Adams did amazing with the Magic cover on Strange Academy, and then he also did amazing with the Spider-Gwen cover on that ASM title.
Okay.
Like, so those 2 covers go way past this one, in my opinion, and should have been incentive covers over.
I don't know. I really like this cover now. I didn't like it at first, but like I said, it grew on me. I mean, you guys all know I'm a Guts guy, and when I found out about all these new characters coming, nothing big, just DC list characters, I wanted to at least read about them, see if they had potential forthwith. And the cover A had the homage or the callback to the original Alpha Flight one, but when I picked this up from the shop on Wednesday morning when I went there, I was stoked. It looks so good in person as well. But Aaron's onto something. It's creepy as shit. Ben goes on and says that the range is wide, all over the place. 55 is the low sale, with 100 high sale. Average FMV is around between $75 and $80.
More than ratio. Shout out to the one and only Blind Adam, who says, every girl at Spearmint Rhino scores in South Arizona looks like this. These girls could be working at the Bunny Ranch. Testify. Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah. I could see a lot of, back in the day, going to the strip clubs in Arizona, and you saw a lot of chicks that were methed up. Moving on to number 9. One of the best covers of the week on the list tonight, and this series has a shit ton of great covers. This is the Captain Marvel Dark Tempest series. Just recently came out. A lot of great covers for the variants for this. There's a bunch of variants for this. This is the Rico second print Virgin 1 in 25. You guys know we hate them that they're doing that, but those are the thing that just keep popping. And Marvel's not going to stop printing them if people keep buying them, I guess. But not bad. Kind of looks Derek Chew ish, right? A little bit here. So
totally agree.
9. Yeah,
good call. Yeah, he goes on and says that this second print ratio is pretty solid value right now, floating around $75.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But do you think stores are just buying up to get the ratio if they have the customer base for it, just so they have the is
for
it creating
reprints? You mean on reprints?
Yeah, I mean for these like second prints and stuff like that. Like, are they just creating a market for it, kind of situation, because they have a ratio?
You know how I feel about it. I mean, you guys have heard me multiple times, and I think we all agree on the panel. Definite crash grab. Kind of wish they would stop doing this, but at the same time, I kind of want to grab these because I think down the line they're going to be ghosts. I just don't like, because I'm looking at the guts at this book, and there's so many new characters that are in this storyline. Nothing big, but there are a lot. I mean, there's like 10 to 15. But I think that if there's a new character spotlight, they need to put it on the cover. Not really the case here, even though there are a ton of first appearances. But hey, it's a Dark Tempest. She's in the dark suit. I believe that first appearance of the dark suit is what, like Miss Marvel 22 or 21 or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's, and I think it's a good rendition of the Dark Tempest look, or however you want to, whatever they're calling that. But yeah, definite crash grab. I don't like how there's not a new character on the front. And to answer Aaron's questions, possibly there probably are some people that are ordering that many reprints, but as long as people keep buying these and retailers keep ordering them, they're going to keep making them. That's plain and simple.
Yeah, and then I always feel like it's one of those, like, these second print ratios you can always buy like months later, where people don't care anymore. And then if something makes it pop off, then it'll shoot back up.
Did you guys see all the other variant covers that were part of this? Have you guys seen them? I'll bring it up.
I've seen them.
It's been a while, but yeah, I have seen them.
It's been a while. First appearance of Nada, Cosmic Threat. See, if I mean, that's not Nada. That's what's her name? Carol Danvers in her black suit. I think if Nada was on that cover, I think it would be definitely worth it. But it's a cool storyline though. It's a cool storyline. I've read it. It's decent. So
here's all the covers. You've got the Derek Chew covers, right? You have a second print Derek Chew with the red, and then you have those Virgin 1 in 50. I like the Lyrics Lee covers, right? The Hellfire Gala cover by Jen Bartel is really good. Look at that, dude. Are you kidding me? Hold on here. Bring this up. Oh man, yeah, that's really good. That's a great cover. Yeah. And then there is the this one right here, the Mike McCone San Diego Comic-Con Woman of Marvel panel color. I never even knew this was out. Look at that.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a panel book. I would probably be looking for that panel book if this takes off, and of course the Rose Besh and the Rico covers. But yeah, Stein.
The Besh was the 1 in 100, right?
Yes, the Besh was a 1 in 200. The Virgin.
Oh wow.
Besh. Yeah, 1 in 200 because it's black. It's all black cover.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. So, all right. Speckers, get out of our hobby. What? Huh?
Who says that?
Yeah. Carla, you realize that most comic people in the hobby right now are speculators. Moving on to number 8. Wonder Woman Historia #1. A book that is getting some love because of James Gunn. Sorry about that. Because of James Gunn right now. Talking about, the Wonder Woman stuff and what he's going to do in DC. This is also the first appearance of Thero and Laiki. And it is the first appearance of the Tribe of Artemis, Hestia, and others, as well as the origin of Wonder Woman and the origin of the Amazons. So, and it's a beautiful, oversized issue, right? This is like a DC Black, right, type issue. I think it's a magazine sized. Is that correct? That makes sense. So, there's a couple of these books that now James Gunn talking about has caused them to kind of blow up on the, and I think DC likes that. They're seeing that these books are selling more because James Gunn is talking about doing. How much are these selling for on the secondary?
So Ben goes on and says that the Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons 1, was $5. It's now $20, and a mislabeled CGC 98 sold for $100.
Ooh,
and I'm going to look that up right now as we're on this book.
What was the initial cost on that? Do we know?
Probably like $10. Like most of those magazine size black label books, they're in that like prestige format. They're usually about $10. And I mean, I could see why it went down to $5 or whatever. That like it's been on the shelf forever, and stores are just trying to clear out those magazine boxes, right?
Jay says it's the hottest garbage I've ever read. Oh man, that makes me feel bad. If James Gunn is going to use this in any way, and this is the hottest garbage, no, James, stop. Yeah,
no, just by visual uses, right?
Yeah. Lucas says Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazon's #1 black label, 2021, 1 in 25 faux is $150. So the 1 in 25 is also one to be looking at.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Cornbread.
Yeah. Oh, show.
Yeah, he's right. So I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. Thank you, Ben, for that. He's always on point. So this seller mislabeled. No, not the seller. I'm sorry. CGC mislabeled. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and let's check it out. This is what I believe this is what he is talking about. Let's go ahead and add it right here. And it says on the close-up, it's Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazon's One retail incentive variant.
That looks like a back cover too.
Looks like they. So I guess they messed up. I guess CGC messed up, and the seller said, "Screw it. I'm going to recover my loss. I don't care who gets screwed over."
Yeah, they flipped the covers. So this is a gorgeous front cover, though. I agree with Planet Arizona. I think that's beautiful. The way it has those peacock feathers, man. And with she's holding, I don't know, I think that's a mask maybe, or a shield that's like a lion's head. That's badass. Or maybe it's a lion next to her. Who knows? But if it's a mask that she's holding, that's even cooler. So, and yeah, Gal Gadot is rumored to be coming back in Wonder Woman 3, and I am all for that. 1000%.
Yeah, she just dropped a new movie on Netflix. It just came out, I believe, on Wednesday. It's called Heart of Stone, and it's kind of, I mean, if I was going to, I suggest watching it. It's not a comic. I don't believe it was a comic book movie or an adaptation, but it's just, I believe it's the original science fiction / action movie. If you like Mission Impossible and you like Gal Gadot, then you will like this movie.
Nice. All right, moving on to number 7 this week. Edge of Spider-Verse issue 3, the second print, 1 in 25 by Ramos. Of course, the Spider-Boy hype continues. You've got the Venom Boy coming out, which I might not be the biggest fan of Spider-Boy, but I think the Venom Boy spec might be worth it because it's got the manga inspired character. They've got that Necroca character that everybody likes because of the look, and the manga inspired character, Sailor Moon inspired character there. I think those are two characters that if you can pick up their stuff cheap enough, especially, day of purchase and stuff like that, great spec plays those two characters. Spider-Boy, I'm not the biggest fan, but they're really pushing this character, and he's now a sidekick of Spider-Man. He's got these weird powers, and Spider-Man's got all these people helping him trying to figure out the powers, and it's interesting. We'll see how it all plays out in the end, but here it is at number 7 this week. What is this one selling for, Richie?
So Ben goes on and has a solid value of this, this Humberto Ramos sketch 1 in 25 at $50.
Wow, man, twice ratio, which is would have been a great thing, a few years ago. It's not as great as it is these days because the books are more expensive, but it's a good thing to see things selling for more than ratio anytime these days, in my opinion. How 100. Long that's going to be, who knows? What do you think on speccing on this character?
I think we should. I think let's let it play out. There's nothing wrong. I mean, his first appearance is dropped a little bit. It's still affordable if you missed FOC and new comic book day. But it sounds like Marvel's putting, like you were saying, Brian, they're putting some stock behind this character. So it's not the worst idea to have a couple copies in hand.
Yeah. All right. I want to remind everybody, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We are going to let you guys know. Let me see here. Where is Drunken Chat? Mighty Mel V. Is there a Drunken Chat tonight? I hope there's a Drunken Chat tonight. Mighty Mel V. I don't see it. We're going to try and figure out a way to send you over to Drunken Chat once they post the YouTube thing. Shout out to Sizzle Magic for the $4.99 super chat. That's awesome. Love that. All right. Let's move on. Next, at number 6, New X-Men number 114, iconic issue. First Cassandra Nova. This is when Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely took over X-Men, changed it to the New X-Men, and kept the same numbering. One of the greatest X-Men storylines. Whenever Grant Morrison is writing anything, I'm in. Period. He's probably top 3 all-time favorite writers, and I love this run. I was so stoked when they announced they were putting out an omnibus back of this back in the day. I ordered multiple copies so I could let my friends check it out and share it with friends, because sometimes you never get them back because of how cool this series is. This is one of those great, when they talk about great series or great storylines in comics, the Grant Morrison run on X-Men is one of them.
I have to agree. Shout out to Universe X. What up, X? He's probably watching. He works a lot like we do. But I think about 2 weeks ago he put this on his IG due to the fact that the rumor mill was heavily churning with Emma Corrin portraying the Cassandra Nova character in Deadpool 3. And when X put that up, I was like, okay. So I did my own due diligence. I found the rumor, and the rumor or the scoop came from a pretty decent site. So I went ahead and looked online. Tons of newsstand editions, high grade, that were selling for basically what the directs were. So I went ahead and grabbed 2 of them for basically what Ben is saying, what the direct is going for. You guys make your own decision. I'm not sure if they'll be there now, but he's saying it was, like Brian was saying, iconic book. We love this run. Everybody knows this book, but always floating around like $8 to $10 during this down market. Now a solid $20 for the direct edition.
Nice.
I like the direct edition more because of the cover. I mean, this is the iconic Frank Quitely new X-Men cover. The newsstand's a great cover, but it doesn't have them all on there. So the newsstand's with Wolverine, right?
No, the newsstand is the same cover. It just
it's the
newsstand.
same cover. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought wasn't there a
you-
variant that happened in New X-Men? Maybe that was the first appearance of Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that's a good book to pick up too, as well. Like, because there's rumors that she's supposed to show back up.
I believe it is confirmed. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, but you're probably right. It's probably wrong.
She's a great character.
Yeah.
I never know if it's ever confirmed or a rumor, so I always just say it's a rumor until we see like a cast list, right?
That's smart.
Grant Morrison created character. Love that character. All right. And sorry, one more time. What were these selling for on secondary?
Solid $20.
Not bad. Cassandra Nova gonna be the main big bad in Deadpool, so it's worth specking on that character. Maybe pick them up for cheap and triple or quadruple your money once the Deadpool 3 trailer comes out.
If you look up Emma Corrin, she was in Pennyworth, Nosferatu, the 2024 version, The Crown, My Policeman. If you look at the Google version of her resume, Deadpool 3 is on there.
There we go.
They listed it on there. So, I mean, I don't know if that's just like an algorithm thing and it caught there, but it's on there.
Not bad.
Well, if you have a pile of them, start selling them now.
Yeah.
Like hotcakes.
Moving on to the number 5 book this week. This is interesting. A Golden Age horror issue showing up in the middle of the Hot 10 is a rare thing. But Startling Terror Tales, issue number 11, is at number 5. What did Stein have to say about this?
Oh man, I was as surprised as you were when I was doing my homework backstage before the show. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait a minute, this has to be the honorable mention. But when I saw number 5, I was like, okay, he's got some really good notes. So he goes on and says, Startling Terror Tales 11. This book doesn't come up for sale often, but when it does, look out. A raw copy sold a few weeks ago with a detached cover for $2,400. The past 6 years, a CGC 4.0 copy has sold 6 times, each one higher than the last, and this week it sold for $11. $11,000, more than double the sale from 2022. Golden Age is a different animal, as you guys know, has and Ben alludes to that for sure, but they are still in the zoo with the rest of these books.
There we go. Yeah, classic cover right here. This is one of those iconic, horror covers. Hive did a great homage to it, I think, for Ice Cream Man, right? Was it Ice Cream Man? Or, yeah, I think it was Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, I think it was Ice Cream Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Love me some Ice Cream Man. And those books are low right now.
Yeah. Great series.
That's a really good read. Like, if you haven't read it.
Yeah, one of the few good read books out there lately. All right. Moving on to number 4. Infinite Crisis number 5, the Jim Lee cover. Of course, first Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle, and he's on the cover, and it's a Jim Lee cover. And Infinite Crisis was one of the best events that happened in comics. I love that event. I love what they did with Superboy Prime in that series. I'm so pissed that they ruined that, the way that how badass Superboy Prime was. Like, that's such a great character. They should be using him more as a villain. This is one of my favorite comic book times, is when this series was happening. It was just good stuff. And everybody's talking about the movie right now. More and more reviews coming out saying how good it is. And here's the best part to me. If you guys watched Wednesday Night Review on Beyond Wednesdays the other night, one of the things I talked about is how it was either on Wednesday or I think it was on the podcast. I'm sorry, it was on the podcast. One of the things I talked about last night on the podcast, Keith asked me what I thought about Blue Beetle in the movie, and I said, I'm really looking forward to this one because it sounds like they really did a good job in here to represent Mexican history and Hispanic heritage and indigenous heritage in this movie in a really cool, fun way and interesting way, and they don't make it cheesy, kind of like how Black Panther did with Namor. I love what Black Panther did with Namor. And I'm really looking forward to this being that good. Hopefully that is true, and hopefully what we're hearing is not just a bunch of malarkey trying to get us to go watch another bad DC movie, which is the same thing we heard about Flash. I remember hearing about Flash being so good that everybody said it was so good you have to continue with it, and man, it just wasn't that great. But I'm hoping this one is different. I'd love to know what chat thinks about this. Are you guys gonna see this movie?
Absolutely. I cannot wait. Rotten Tomatoes has an 89% fresh. Audience score I believe is even higher. It's closer to like 90.
Oh, wow.
Last time I checked, it could be just a little bit lower, but it's very high. It's kind of rare to see both of them up that high on these recent comic adaptations. But yeah, I can't wait. I love that actor. I liked him in what's it, the Karate Kid thing, Cobra Kai.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he had a great personality. He's a good actor. He's super athletic, and not the previews, but the teasers or whatever we see all the time. Man, the CGI looks amazing on there. So,
well, I'm glad they're putting respect to the Mexican heritage, not just throwing like a burrito on the cover or something.
Oh yeah, 100,
so
100.
Well, so at least the movies are learning, like, hey, we can't do like crazy and offensive stuff like this. We actually have to
Namor. Sorry,
yeah.
I'll say it like they say it in the movie.
Namor. I love that actor that plays Namor too. He was so good in Narcos Mexico. I love that. I love that series, by the way, even though it's 75% subtitles, it's still, I'm just locked in. I really hope that the MCU doesn't screw the pooch on that one, and I hope they do it right when they get it when he gets his own movie.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we've got 3 more issues to go. How much is this one selling for in the secondary market right now?
So Ben goes on and says that in the Infinity Crisis 5 Gem League cover, CGC 9As are back up to 225. His opinion goes on and says, pretty solid reviews for the movie, which we were just mentioning, which DCU needs desperately. DC Comics too, as well. That being said, in Ben's opinion, now is the time to sell.
There we go.
I mean,
I think so too. I think that's pretty obvious that
Yeah.
now is the time to sell on that book.
right.
So, unless you love the character, then now is not the time to sell. Now is the time to enjoy it. Put it up on your wall.
Well, if you're collecting it, like hold on to it. But
Mhm.
yeah, or actually, you might be even able to sell it now
Buy
and
more.
buy more
Buy-
later, like
Yeah.
Right.
6 months,
Get some
6
artwork.
months from now.
Because there's going to be a sequel.
Well,
So.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys, 3 more to go. Let's get into it. 212 watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. At number 3 this week on the House of Stein Hot 10, Dazzler number 1 from her first self-titled series from 1981. This was such a big deal when this came out. I want to say this was like one of the first direct books, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Is there any longtime comic shop owners in the chat tonight? This is like one of the first books that came out direct. Iconic cover, iconic character, the design of the character, great stories about the design of this character. Very popular when this book first came out. And now with all the Taylor Swift talk that the rumors are getting hot and heavy that she's not playing Gwenpool, but she's playing Lady Deadpool, but Dazzler.
Ooh.
And that's an old school rumor from back in the day from the X-Men movie that she had a scene cut from the last X-Men movie that she was supposed to play Dazzler in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And Brian's mentioned this in the past before. Like you guys know, we really like Recall Comics. Shout out to them. There is the Recalled Error Edition with 2 pages of the color advertisements printed in black and white, and they are in the pages, I believe 24 and 25.
Yeah, it's
and
like
Ben,
the blue Galactus Secret Wars. It's
kind of
it's about 50-50 print run on it, right?
Mhm.
On the air, I think so. Yeah.
something like that. I don't know the exact, but you're probably onto something there. And Ben goes on and says both the error and non-error are up this week for the same reason as a book we're about to talk about. I'm not going to mention it, but I'm not going to spoil it. But now expect to pay $200 for a 9.8 for the first solo series of Dazzler, and a very early, probably the first ever direct edition.
Wow.
Great cover right there, man. Great cover.
And great for any error collectors. So I mean, I love this, like collecting the error version. Like every time I see a Dazzler 1, I'll open the book and see like, is it error?
Yeah. This whole series is all over the dollar bins, man. Was. Look how great that cover looks. The background looks, it's got the universe thing just like our background. That's just great, man. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been looking for Mark Jewelers of this for so long.
And I know that Blue Green Tony was asking if Taylor Swift had ever acted in anything before. I don't know the answer to that. If you count music videos, I would assume that would be good enough. And then like a character like Dazzler, that's kind of like perfect for her, right? Because she has that stage presence. Like, you know, she'll bring in a new audience into the MCU. So I don't think that's ever a bad thing for Marvel either.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good thing. I think that they need this to happen. Get a little bit of excitement going on. I don't care if it's Taylor Swift. I'm actually starting to grow, or her music and her as an artist is starting to grow on me. I was never into or heard any of her music, and I was riding with my brother the other day, and he had played one of her songs, and I was like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "Dude, this is Taylor Swift." I was like, "No way!" Absolutely blew me away, dude. All right, moving on to number 2 this week. the Toxic Avenger issue number 1 makes its way back to the Hot 10 list. I feel like this should be an homage cover to Spider-Man, but I don't think it necessarily is. It just kind of feels like it. But this book got so hot during the pandemic once news came out about them starting the new series and everything, and then we started to see some advertisements about the movie coming out. A bunch of people sent me some really cool, they look like Mondo posters. It almost looked like Suicide Squad movie posters for the new Toxic Avenger series that's coming.
Kevin Bacon and what was the other dude that played in Lord of the Rings? Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Have been cast in the roles.
Peter Dinklage was Peter Dinklage in it?
Yes, Peter Dinklage and who's the other? Julia Davis have been cast in roles directed by Macon Blair, and the heavy rumor was the Dinklage, Elijah Wood, and Kevin Bacon for this.
Yeah,
that you're right. During the pandemic, typically June 2021, we're still in the heart. So.
Yeah, this thing was crazy. How much was it selling for in the pandemic? Do we remember?
No, I mean, I don't have, obviously I don't have the data, but Ben goes on and says, while not near the all-time highs set during the COVID price pandemic era, 9/8 are back up to 200 and newsstand 9/8 are almost at $500.
Wow.
After the first image of the angry elf as the Avenger hit the internet.
Wow.
This cover looks like Hulk was dumped in a vat of acid or something.
Yeah.
You know, Brian,
I remember being a kid and seeing the old Trauma movies and loving them. Me and my brother used to watch those old Trauma movies and just geek out over how goofy they were.
You know, you were saying that. What did you say? You said that it kind of reminds you of like a Spider-Man, or you feel like it's a Spider-Man homage. Kind of feel the same too. Maybe a Venom, or maybe like a McFarlane Spider-Man. I don't know.
That's what I mean. McFarlane Spider-Man. It feels a little bit like the first McFarlane Spider-Man issue number 1.
The Torment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
So 1991 is this book.
There we go. So number 2 on the list. $500 for newsstand 9/8. Wow. Yeah, that's money. Money in the pocket if you have one. Well, hopefully you didn't buy it at pandemic prices, but if you did, hold. All right, unless you're down with taking a loss. Let's get into it. At number 1, you guys, we all knew what it was going to be. X-Men number 130 from 1980, the first appearance of Dazzler, another iconic cover. Look at that, just great art. Great time period to be an X-Men fan. Byrne and Claremont, oh, dude. Right? This is during the Byrne and Claremont era.
I should have just held up that sign the entire show. So,
yeah.
What? And then this is part of that Dark Phoenix story arc, isn't it?
Yeah, second part, first appearance Dazzler. You got second Kitty Pryde. First full Sebastian Shaw as the Black King. Jean Grey becomes the Black Queen of the Hellfire Club, and second appearance Emma Frost. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to find this book for a good deal, so basically $100, and I can't. Yeah, I mean, even after the pandemic, I probably missed that window. I mean, I definitely did now, but yeah, I mean, even after when everything's on the dip, I still couldn't find a high grade copy for $100. But Ben goes on and says, up in all grades, not back to COVID prices like number 2 below, which is the Toxic Avenger 1, which we just mentioned. CGC 9.8, $1,400. CGC 9.4, $300. CGC 9.0, $170. And then he mentions rumors of Taylor Swift and DP3 are popping back up the rumor mill. And if it does happen, oh man, think how much he says, think how much Swifties pay for concert tickets is going to be forthwith.
Oh yeah. If that does get announced, yeah, she's going to get a lot more. I mean, she's super popular to begin with. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to International Comics Josh for that great. Talk about, you guys want to hear some great cornbread. International Comics Josh during one day on Beyond Wednesdays goes, yeah, I like these Taylor Swift tickets. I think they're a good spec, and just blew us all away with how great that was. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, because like not only did he get the commemorative like this last tour ticket, he also has the first tour ticket that he sent me to send out to PSA. So here's that. So this is from her first tour. Yeah. So I was like, when he told me that play, I was like, that is amazing. Like, I have never heard a smarter play like on concert tickets than that in a long time. Something fresh, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what
Aaron,
it is.
go
it's
ahead.
Cornbread.
Go. Yeah, Aaron, flash the sign for us about this cover.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm telling you, I should have just held up the sign the entire show. Like,
yeah. Rainbow Brizite says Dazzler is my girl. Always pick them up. I have a full run of the Dazzler regular series that I've been holding on to for the while. Hopefully that this would happen. So we'll see if I'm once we get some love, theater trailer stuff going on. That stuff may just blow up, So, all right, great stuff. 210
Comments?
Watching now. How much is this selling for again? One more time.
Okay, I'll go over the prices again. Thank you, Ben. By the way, appreciate you. Always does a great list. He's helping us out not only with the Hot 10 that he does every week, but he's also helping me and the boys out with Buy the Dip and Almost 10 as well. And the guy is super busy. Thank you, Ben Stein. Shout out to Ben Stein. Make sure you guys check out comicbookinvest.com where he uploads the list. And then, of course, his IG, The House of Stein. He goes on and says CGC 9.8s are at $1,400, 9.4s, $300, 9.0s, $170.
Yeah. Wow. Very interesting. All right, you guys, before we end the show, we always go and look at comments from last week's episode. So we are going to do that right quick. Let's get into it. Let's get into the comments. Here we go. Starting off with Timothy, he says, I think the second printing of Dwellings number 1 is out on 8/16. The book is $10 because it has at least 64 pages. It's a thick comic with cardstock covers. That's very good information. I still haven't got my copy of the 1 and 10 or any of them. Blood Sausage says, great show, guys. Red Hood is hilarious. We all agree on that. I feel like I'm hanging out with friends here. That's the whole plan. Everybody in chat, everybody that hangs out on live shows that I do, that I'm a part of, I try to make it feel like it's a bunch of homies, friends, sitting at a bar bullshitting, sitting at a comic shop bullshitting, just talking about what we love. So that's exactly what we're trying to do here. So thanks for that, Blood Sausage. And Kirby Carpenter says a lot of people would purchase that Zatanna just because she has fans that buy every cover she appears on. It's not my favorite. I like when Adam Hughes draws her. Mama. And of course, he's talking about the number 1 book last week, that crazy, weird-looking Spider Zatanna book. And so is Chris Greaves. He says that Zatanna cover is fire. Frankie Gonzalez says, Dwellings number 1 still coming out next week. Diamond didn't ship their copies. Buyers beware. Of course, we talked about that pretty heavily on all the episodes last week. Tomb, shout out to our boy Tomb. If you guys aren't following Tomb World and Tomb on IG, he is a great artist and a great community member, just a great dude all around, one of our favorite people and a good friend. He says Hondo is basically Star Wars version of Captain Jack Sparrow. I like it. Brad Selden says, what's better spec? Book with character first appearance that then shows up in live action, or live action character first appearance in a subsequent book? Obviously, character's first appearance that then shows up in live action. And we know that because of what happens with those redone Star Wars books, that they get a little hot, but they're definitely nowhere near the the price of a character that shows up in comics first and then in live action. So
But
that's my opinion.
I was gonna say there's an exception to the rule, but then I was gonna say Harley Quinn, but then that was an animated. She showed up first and then had a comic.
Yeah.
So close, but no
little bit.
cigar, I guess.
Yeah. Marcus says, "Can someone please tell me about Adam Hughes' Teen Titans 70th anniversary? How rare it is." I think that Teen Titans 70th anniversary variant, is he talking about the one at San Diego?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
You guys talked about it last week.
Yeah. How many of them are there? Let's take a quick look.
I thought I heard 200.
SDCC variants. Teen Titans. How many did you say that you thought?
I thought he mentioned 200, but I'm not 100%.
All right, let's see here. You can get cover C for $50 right now on Adam Hughes' site.
It's got to be more than 200, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
maybe 2,000, maybe 1,000, maybe 3,000.
200 was released from that store plus artist comps.
Yeah. 200 just in his room.
Yeah. So I'm not sure on the print run of that. We'll have to get back to you on that one. Six Gun says, "You guys identified Hondo incorrectly. For Star Wars Adventure 7, Hondo is on cover A." Thank you. Appreciate that. Honky Tonk, or Hop Duncan says, "Honky Tonk pinned Ricky Steamboat for the IC title." Intercontinental, yep. Tomb World said, "Frazetta is king." I agree. And shout out to Chad Cave that reminded me, I said the greatest artist of the 19th century. Obviously, that's wrong. Greatest artist of the 20th century. Star Wars character was BJ Novak says that Star Wars character was in Mandalorian, and then he's talking about Zeb, I believe.
Right. Yeah, but Hondo hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, Hondo hasn't shown up. Yeah. Out of Print Horror says, "Danny Johnson is one of my favorite artists, but 2023 Transformers is awful spec." So he's talking about Daniel Warren Johnson. Matrix Comics says, "Damn man, I like Joe, I do, but he mostly never likes true horror covers unless they are Golden Age. Joe, if a work of art makes you feel uneasy, instead of just shitting on it, you should consider that it did its job of making you feel that way. Stein is almost the same, but not as bad. Both of you guys are fairly conservative in your taste, and maybe truly wicked horror covers are just not your thing. Great show." You guys got to listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, and it's probably the only time I'm ever going to say it. You got to take Joe with a grain of salt. He's a funny guy, all right? Not everything he's saying is to be a dick. Just a heads up. And I don't think he was trying to do that there. I think he probably just didn't like the cover.
Matrix is good people, dude.
Yeah. There can only be Vaughn. I like that. Says, "That's not even the main title. The Intercontinental title on Honky Tonk Man, longest reigning champ until Gunther beats him in a few weeks." So I guess that record is about to be over. "Funny he was champ for so long you never knew he was champ. Lol." Yeah. And finally, Tiny Dan says, "Oh no, Spider's butt effing Red Hood. No. We don't need that." Yeah, so did he say
Where's Selden and the Crickets?
Yeah. Did he say that last week? I don't remember him saying that. But that is the comments, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love to talk about comments, not only in the live chat every week that we bring up on the screen that you guys can see, but also people that leave the comments on the replays. Thank you so much. Let's see here. What do we got coming up? Drunken Chat immediately after this, I believe, right? Let me go see.
It is going to be postponed to Saturday, so Lucas can go see Blue Beetle. I got the message while we were live.
Okay, so no Drunken Chat.
Where does Lucas live? Where does he live?
Or I should say Chillins. Yeah, he's on
what
the
part
East
of the country? I mean, East Coast? Okay.
East Coast, yeah.
So no drunken chat tonight, but I want to remind everybody tomorrow night, just like always, we have the Saturday Night Live Modern Comic Mayhem. It's mayhem every Saturday night on Beyond Wednesdays. Tomorrow night, no different. Come hang out with us. Of course, the home, Modern Comic Mayhem is the home of Comic Book Drama Alert, and I imagine everybody is looking forward to tomorrow night's Comic Book Drama Alert. That being said,
I'm going to be in the post show hanging out.
That being said, I want to remind everybody this. One of the cool things that we do over at Beyond Wednesdays is we have a Discord. You can find a link to invite to that Discord below. Come hang out in that Discord. We have, in that Discord, I'm going to show you guys here. We have a section called Live Show Call-In. You can see it right here. And in that section, there is a call-in live where you can call in live to the show. And there is also a live show lounge that you can see here that we hang out in during the pre-show sessions and after shows on Saturday night. So start hanging out with us in those pre-show sessions. You guys can talk to all of us before the show during the sesh where we play music and enjoy our flower. And you can bullshit with us in those pre-show sessions. And then after the show, we like to hang out also in the after show lounge. And it's a lot of fun. There was like 20 people in the after show lounge last Saturday. So it's a lot of fun. Come join the Beyond Wednesdays Discord. You can find links to invites to the... And here's the other thing, you guys. The Beyond Wednesdays Discord is open to everybody. You don't have to be special to get in there. The invite is always available below. And we don't delete stuff in there. You can look at all the past history of everything. It's... You know, if you're going to say something, just be sure that what you say is going to be there in perpetuity. So just know that. But that being said, it's open to everybody. So come hang out with us in the Discord tomorrow before Modern Comic Mayhem during the pre-show session, and of course after during the after-show hangout. And as always with any Beyond Wednesday show, you can always call in and give us your opinion if you don't agree. So that being said, much love. We'll see you soon. Adios.